Good morning, how are you? What a beautiful day it is today. I don't know whether you can see in the background, it looks like it's grey skies or a little bit hazy in the background, but it's actually beautiful blue. So thanks so much. Ildi, great to see you here. Thanks for being here. And always fun to see everybody here. Ildi, you're always so positive. And I'm trying to think, I just like to post on your page. I can't remember what it was. Was it your granddaughter going to college? I can't remember, but I think that was it. Congratulations to your family if that's the case. It's an amazing day today, and I'm going to be very, very simple. Good morning, Mum. Great to see you here. Love you. It's such an amazing day, and today is going to be so simple. Now, update. Hey, Pat. Great to see you here. Update. My ankle is still not fully healed, but I've been really taking care of it and listening to my body, finding out what aggravates it, what doesn't, what I can do and what I can't, and taking it as easy as I possibly can with the schedule that I have. And so today's workout is going to be so basic, so simple, and yet it shows that even with injuries, you can still do things. Good morning, Liz. Great to see you. I think, Liz, is this the first time you've been here? I'm not sure if it is or not, but great to see you here, Liz. I'm normally pretty good at recognizing names. So today I'm going back to almost like it's the first time you've been on the board. But as you know, this is brain to body training. This is all about the feel. It's about being able to go slow. A gymnast isn't always running and flipping. Sometimes they're balancing on one leg and learning how to control that body to then be able to move again. So today's going to be very specific. It's going to be very focused. And it's going to be repetitive in a really good way, as well as it will be a decent workout because of the challenges that come in. I've got a couple of exercises that I've never done. Why am I doing my hair? I've never done before, which I think are going to be a great challenge for anybody. Liz, it's your second time here. The first was a couple of months ago. What have you been doing for a couple of months? I hope you've been well. I hope you've been safe. And I hope you haven't gone through any tough times, but it's great to have you back here again. So thanks so much for being here. And let's hope the second time inspires you to come back for a third. So thanks, Mum. Only your mother could say that. Let me put this over here for a second. All right. So, Doug, good to see you. Doug, have you raced again since... I can't remember when your next race was going to be. I saw the car that you're going to be racing in. Fantastic. And let's hope it doesn't blow the gasket or the water again. Something out of there. But remember, today is going to be so simple, so basic. And the reason being, this is my message for today. Some of the biggest beauty comes from the most simplicity. Think about it. When you go and see a horizon, you go and look at the simplicity of nature and how beautiful it is, how the view can inspire you when nothing's happening and yet everything's happening. So, I'll think back to, I'll go out to Port Hueneme. I have to get the right words in here. Port Hueneme, and I'll stand on the corner, I'll look out over the ocean, the sun's going down, and I can see the Anacapa Islands in the background, and the swell of the ocean is just nice and smooth, and yet everything is happening so simply with nature, and yet it's so beautiful, and yet it's there all the time, and yet only sometimes we appreciate it. And so the feeling, the natural movement is so critical to everything in nature, and we're part of nature. So I want you to think about how you feel. Think about the beauty in you. Think about the natural fluidity of movement that happens all the time, that we don't take notice of it all the time. We take it for granted, and yet sometimes it comes back and it hits us. That either we didn't appreciate it enough or we've got to appreciate it now. So that's the focus of today's workout, is nice and simple, keeping it smooth, feeling what's happening and enjoying the flow of the actions when they're just, again, nothing complicated, nothing spectacular because of a moment, and yet that consistency of beauty all the time. So Thanks so much. Doug, how did you do last weekend, mate? I hope you did great. I wish I could have come down there. I guarantee I'm going to come and see you race one day. It would be so good to watch. Debbie, great to see you this morning. Thanks so much. Debbie, I think you need to get your eyes fixed, but thanks so much for the compliment. It's always great to see you here. We've got a really good workout again. So simple, so basic. And I'm going to get started pretty quickly today because I know you've all been waiting. I know what you're waiting for, but we're not waiting to get better. We're going to get better here. So with that being said, I'm going to jump on the board. Poles are on the outside. I hope you can hear me still. I'm going to move this just a little closer. And again, just very simple. So what I want you to do is just rock side to side, just nice and easy. Feel that board touching the ground. Just that simplicity of touch and touch. And I want you to feel, don't look down, feel the moment that the board touches the ground. You'll actually feel it through the vibrations going through the board and going through your fingers, and that stopping point that you can feel. Now, the brain feeling for your body isn't just about your feet. I just felt that I put my foot under the edge of the board, and that's why I didn't rock, and I felt that. Denise, great to see you. I can't read what you said, but I see the DH there. Welcome all the way from Arizona. So we're in here just rocking side to side. And I want you to start feeling now, as the board is rocking, feel the weight changing from your right foot to your left foot, and actually be conscious and focused on that feeling of moving side to side. I got a little fly that wants to join me, sitting on my arm. There you go. Not anymore, he's not, but I'm pretty confident he'll be back. Okay, now I want you to stop and hold, and feel the strength in the right leg. Now push and hold. Hold that side. Doug, I want you to tell me how you did last week though. So we're in here. Now I want you to imagine I'm pushing on the brake pedal. I'm pushing on the brake. That's if you drive two-footed, or changing the clutch as we did back in. Now push and push on the gas. Feel the pressure on the ball of your foot and push. And again, this is all about feeling. It's so basic, but it's connecting. There you go, good. Now come back to a light rocking again. And what I want you to do is stop the board right before it touches the ground, because you'll have a perception now of how far to go before it touches the ground. So I'm just here and here and here, and you're beginning to put more pressure onto your feet, because as you're pushing, you're stopping the sway before the board touches the ground. Very simple, but this is back about the feel again. Excellent. And notice how you have more strength on your feet, because instead of letting the board stop you, you're now putting that pressure onto the balls of the foot and controlling. And now come to the center. Just a quick little warm up to feel that activation. And now here we go. What I want you doing is tapping on one and down and one and down. And what I want you to feel here is how simple the pressure on the foot on the floor is, and yet how solid you feel. Feel that moment of pause and hesitation it's not hesitation, that's the wrong word. Feel that pause of control, that pause of comfort. I'm comfortable just being in this position. Last one on the left. Good, and bring it down. Now we're going to do another exercise. We've got a few tapping exercises today to challenge the brain's proprioceptive connection and the balance that you have to control your body. Okay, so what I want you to do is tap on one 3 times. Are you ready? Right foot, tap on 1 3 times. We go 1, 2, 3, and down. Now left foot, 1, 2, 3, and again, right foot. And feel too how, having just done that little warm up, how confident you should be feeling now on that little push. There you go. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to add to this. We're going to do 3 taps on the right, 3 taps on the left, and then 6 right, left, right, left, right, left. Then we're going to repeat it. And again, what we're working on here is the ability to balance on one leg no matter where the other leg's moving. Are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3 on the left. 1, 2. Now 6 alternating. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again. And feel as you're doing this how your body is shifting its weight slightly. Now 6. You're shifting your weight from right to left and yet feeling comfortable We're gonna do it one more time through. Are you ready? Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, and down. 1, 2, 3, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Good, just shake your legs out. Excellent, I hope you felt good doing that. But I guarantee you, even if you felt like you were slightly off balance or falling, your brain is connecting because you're feeling it. If you feel that you're slightly off balance, your brain will learn how to recorrect that and feel confident. Okay, I have a brand new exercise for you to try today, which is a little different. And let me explain it to you while I demonstrate. You're actually going to tap the back of the board with your toe. So tap, 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 down. Then you're going to tap the top of the board. 1, 2, 3. So you're tapping the back of the board in the same alignment as 1, 2, 3. And then the top of the board. So it's 6 movements with the right leg, then 6 with the left. Are you ready? Just tap the back of the board. To do that, you just lift your foot a little bit off of the ground, a little bit more like you're walking. In life, we wouldn't actually be lifting our leg this high. So we're practicing the ability to change our first step just off of the ground. Are you ready? Here we go. Tap, 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 tap. 1, 2, 3, and left leg. Tap, 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 tap. 1, 2, 3, and again. Now I certainly can feel the difference between my right leg and my left leg because of the injury on my right ankle. I have to focus, and I feel a little bit more of the strain on my left ankle. Hey, Bob Eubanks is in the house. Back, tap, tap. Good to see you, Bob. I hope your meeting went well the other day where you had to leave early from class. I'm still going to make you make up those minutes. 1, 2, 3, and again. Tap at the back, tap the back, tap the back, down. Now, one of the things that we're working on here is the feeling of the foot engaging. As soon as you feel it touch the back of the board, you're stopping that motion. So while you're focused on your balance on one leg, you're also so cognitive and aware of the touch of stopping and not kicking that board forward. 2, 3, 2 more times. Here, there you go, and down. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2. Back of the board, down. Last time coming up. And you'll notice sometimes the longer you do this, sometimes the more wobbly you get. The reason being is we begin to take it for granted and forget to focus on the pressure point on the foot and rest. But the cool thing is eventually you won't have to worry about that. What I want you to do, grab a quick drink of water, just a mouthful, and I'm going to say hi to the people that are here. Hey Denise, Denise, you said, when are you going to start up with the questions on Tuesdays again? You can ask any time, and I'll be happy to start that up again. I'd love to start that up again. In fact, I will. The first of Tuesday of each month was what I used to do, but people weren't really asking too many questions. So you can ask questions here for help, but I'm going to start that up maybe next because I love doing those classes. It puts me under pressure to create something, and I love creating. Doug, thanks so much for saying that. Bob, yes, it is great. Bob Eubanks. Simon, another nice location. This is my backyard, mate. So it's beautiful. It's one of those places. So it's great. Larry, I'm going to come back and read that one. I want to get on with the next exercise. I don't know whether it's a joke or not, but Simon Tully is like my brother from another mother. Great to see you, Simon. Hope you're doing great back in England as well. Love to you and the family. All right, next one. We're actually going to be doing another tap again, but this is going to be something unique and new. Let me show you one time. You're going to tap your heel on the board, then you're going to cross your foot over and tap the little toe. Then you're going to move to the 3, tap the 3 on the big toe and back down. We're going to be loosening up the hip, flexing the ankle and feeling that pressure point. Are you ready? Here we go. So tap the heel on 1, cross your foot, tap the little toe on 1, tap the big toe on 3 and back down. Left foot, we go heel, little toe, big toe, down. Now, doing this one, little toe, big toe, down. I'm actually laughing because this reminds me, I feel like an Irish jig dancer watching this. Heel, toe, there and down. And feel how as you're doing this, the hip is beginning to loosen up. Here, tap, and by doing this as well, you're getting such a good little exercise of mobility in the leg, and now feeling those touch points on the big toe and the little toe, not just the touch points of touching the board, but specifics. I can feel when I touch, I can feel when I touch and down. Here, little, out, down. Heel, little toe, out, down. Heel, little toe, out. Last one, heel, little toe. Feel that balance still on the leg on the ground. Heel, little toe, big toe, and down. So because we were just working the hips, what I want you to do is step up on one and one and just push the hips to the side in here. Feel that stretch as you go down one side. Feel the stretch of those hips because we were just loosening them up with that little turning of the foot. Force the hip to work. Great exercise for loosening up and getting suppleness in the hip just a little bit without straining or stressing it. There you go, brilliant. Okay, what I want you to do, step up. Sorry, that's step down. I'm a little Irish today. I love the Irish. Okay, what we're gonna do is an exercise here, which is gonna be a pressure point strengthener. A pressure point strengthener of changing the pressure in your legs. I want you to step up on 2 and 2 and just rock. Now, how we're gonna do this is we're gonna go straight into pressing on 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, and down. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, and back off of the board. The right leg is gonna stay on 2. The left leg is the one that's working out and in. And then when we change, the left leg will stay and the right leg. Follow along with me. We'll go slow. Push the left foot on 1, push. Lift the left leg, 2, push. Lift the left leg, 3. Now come to 2. Now come to 1. Now step back off of the board. Now step up on 2 on the left leg. Right leg goes to 1, and then it goes to 2, and then it goes to 3, and then 2. And I'm going to give you some specifics now. Now step back off of the board. Here we go. Step up with the right leg on 2. Now, what I want you to do is think of keeping your body in exactly the same alignment. So it's all your leg that's doing all of the work. They are good, and step back down. Now we step up, left foot on 2. Now right foot goes to 1. Again, keep the body in the same place so the legs are doing all the work. Not as easy as it looks because we naturally want to lean. Right leg steps up on 2, left leg, 1, and 2, and 3, and 2. I'm gonna work even harder to keep my body in the same place. Now left leg comes up on 2. Now keep that body in the same place. So it's complete body control and leg work, pressure work. The way I can tell, and I can do even better than this, right leg comes up. My head is gonna be right in the middle of that tree. It looks like I can see my head moving a little bit. I'm gonna try and slow this down and keep my body in the same position. Left foot comes up on 2. Now, you can see, go right there. Can I keep my head right in the middle of that far distance tree? Now I know that my legs are doing the work. Last time through each side. Right leg, step on 1, step on 2, step on 3, step on 2. I can feel when I step on 3 that it gets my ankle quite a bit. So again, now if we were going to do it again, which we're not, I wouldn't do the 3 position. You're not here to hurt yourself or injure. You're here to make sure that you're exercising, getting stronger. And step back off of the board. Excellent. Shake those legs out. One more exercise, then we're going to get another drink of water. What I want you to do is step up on 2 and 2. And again, we're going back. Imagine this is your first, second, third time on the board. Hey, Kathy. Great to see you here, young lady. I didn't know it was you. I can't see your name, but I see that bright blue shirt in your picture. So Debbie and Kathy have both checked in today. Thanks so much because you're amazing. So what we're doing here is just rocking side to side, nice and easy. And again, imagine this was only like maybe the 5th or 6th time you've been on the board and you want to feel safe, but at the same time you want the challenge. So this is what we're going to do. Come and find your balance. We're going to multitask in here. And for those more advanced, feel free to join in the next steps that we're going to do. Now, what I want you to do while you're balancing is run your fingers. Your thumb is on the board. There you go. And we're going to play with the brain a little bit today to increase its ability to multitask. Now, hold with the left hand and run the right fingers. So again, we're really being very specific. Think about it. Right now, we're focused on balance and movement. Now, hold the right hand, run the left fingers. They are just these little, now, people will say, oh, well, this is so easy. What's the fun of it? This is reconnecting the neural connections of being able to multitask the brain and at the same time keep your balance. Now what we're going to do, one right, one left, one right, one left, rolling from little finger to big finger while you're balancing. And again, this is not easy, but think about it. What are you focusing on? I'd love you to think about, what are you focusing on? Are you focusing on your fingers or are you focusing on your balance? If you're focusing on your fingers, notice how the balance is kind of taking care of itself, and then you may catch you a little bit. Good. Now hold both hands. Now rock the board side to side, but don't let it touch the ground. This is balance regaining training, because we're learning to react before we get to that point of contact. No different than when you begin to feel off balance, you react back to your center before you actually get to the point where you're going to fall. So we're training the brain to react. Now, come and hold that balance again. This is a long balancing exercise. I want you to just bounce your knees just a little bit. There you go. And notice as you're bouncing how easy it is to, Bob Eubanks, I don't know what you said. I saw something just come up. Hey, I think my dad's here as well. Hi, Dad. Good to see you. So it's hard to see the names from this far away. So a little bouncing in here. Notice that as you're bouncing, how your pressure points are constantly changing, but you're able to maintain that ability to stay in the middle or react quickly back. Now come and hold. Excellent. Now what we do is rock, let the board touch the ground and feel that pressure point again. So simple, and yet notice that as it touches the ground, you're already transitioning the weight from one side to the other, because you realize you've reached a point and come back. No different than when you're walking down the street. You begin to feel off balance, you reach that point and push back. It becomes something that becomes organic again for you, because the brain is recognizing what's going on. Now, come and feel, come and hold that body position. And Debbie, if you're, Debbie, if you're still there, say hi. But Kathy, if you're still there, please say hi as well. Because I want to talk a little bit about brain training and what we're going to focus on this month as well. Okay, so with being in this position, what I want you to do now is take your right hand off and feel the balance. Now take your left hand off and feel the balance. Now if you find this really easy and you're in thick carpet, find an area that isn't quite so deep pile, because there you go, Debbie. Hi, you're still here. Thanks for saying hi. Is Kathy still here? Good. So we just go in here, and all you're doing is changing. And notice as you change hands, how you'll feel the pressure change in your feet. Again, so simple, but what we're building, like I've said at the beginning, brain training for the body, that as your body's moving, the brain is adapting. There we are, Kathy's there as well. So I want to tell you while we're doing this one, we're going to move on to another exercise. If you want to hold on with both hands. I want you to rock side to side. And the next one, we're going to take one more challenge. Now, Kathy has a dear family member who is fighting ALS. And so this month, we're dedicating it to the brain, to the mind, to the neural connections, because it's also ALS Awareness Month. And Kathy's going to be posting the most amazing video of her family member who is in this battle, this fight. Incredible professional athlete, became a firefighter, left the NFL. Now come and find your balance while we're doing this talk. And while I'm talking, you're focusing on the story. And at the tender age, around 30, he started dropping tools and had no idea why he was doing it, and then got diagnosed with ALS. And so we're going to focus this month in dedication of him. And I'll have to come back and see that. It's hard to see from here. But again, We're going to be using the 60 up to awaken those brain changes that are happening with any disease, whether it's MS, whether it's Parkinson's, ataxia, any of the diseases, traumatic brain injury, stroke, to really connect the brain to the body. So we're going to be doing a lot of this stuff this month specifically to help anybody. Kathy, I think there's a link there that you sent me, but everyone can see whatever Kathy wrote in her notes later as well. Now, we're here. This is what I want you to do. Take both hands on, if you feel comfortable. If you only feel comfortable with one, take one. Now take the other hand off. Now don't let the knees sink in, keep the knees, and I want you to press your feet into the board. Now if you begin to rock, let it touch. You can grab if you need to, but again, feel those connections, and that's Eric, absolutely, Eric Stevens. Eric, just an incredible man. I watched his video and I was so moved by it. And if you want to see a definition of a hero, go take a look at Eric's video that's going to be posted on this members group. Again, just an incredible story and somebody else that we value having part of our community. Good, now hold the poles and let go with both hands. I want you to feel that pressure on the board. Now, let go with your hands and I want you to rock slightly side to side to side to side. And what we're doing with that slight rock is, think about it, we're pushing our weight one side but correcting before the board touches the ground. And if you have no hands on the poles, it's all your leg work. It's that confidence that you've got. Think about it. You were nervous on the ground. You'd never get on a wobble board and feel, you know, safe and confident. But now here you are on the 60 up, and you can actually have the confidence to let go. Imagine how safe the ground really is. So much of it is a perception because of the disconnection of our brain that the ground is a dangerous place. The ground is solid. We've got to embrace and use that solidity that we have and solidify our balance. Okay, we're going to do one more exercise here. Just rock side to side. And again, don't judge the exercise today on the sweat. Don't judge the exercise today on the muscle feeling like it's being worked. Today, we're working the brain. And again, don't be confused at how much the brain is working, because you're reacting to what the brain is telling you to do relative to what you're hearing or seeing. Sometimes when I do these teachings, I know when I coach soccer, afterwards sometimes I can be so exhausted and have to take an hour's break because you forget your brain is working. You've all been there when you work really hard and your brain just gets tired. Trust, the brain muscle is incredible and needs to have that break. Good, now, find that balance. Now what I want you to do is, if you're comfortable, if you're only comfortable letting go with one, touch the hand, touch the hand, touch the hand, touch the hand in here. And again, feel as your body's moving, how your balance is naturally being progressed. Now, if you're comfortable letting go, I'm going to clap 3 times. Touch the top of the poles. 1, 2, 3, touch the top of the poles. Now think of this. We're working on the balance, and at the same time, we're multitasking the brain because we're focusing on the clapping, the brain now is separating away from the thought. I'm thinking of clapping 3 times. I'm actually talking as well. And at the same time, my brain is now separated from my thought, and yet it's in control of my body. This is such an amazing ability that the body and brain has to separate. The mind thinks one thing, and the brain, that was only 2 claps. Down here, good, and come back and rest. Now what I want you to do is just drag your foot to the other foot, keep it on the ground. What we're doing here, because that was a long session, that was probably 5 minutes on the board, if not longer, just going through here. What we're doing now, feel how you're now relieving the pressure, the foot that's sliding and it's actually staying on the board. Feel how slowly the pressure that those feet had on the ground is now releasing. We're releasing that pressure. And this is what makes it so good, so powerful, so, I'm trying to think what the right word is. It's just brilliant how we can begin to feel the change in the body by the action that we do. Good, and push down with your right foot, step back with your left, and let's go ahead and grab your drink of water. That's about a 5-minute exercise. And as you're here getting your water, as you get your water, I want you to feel how solid the ground feels now that you're back on the ground. And sometimes it can feel a little weak. You're like, oh man, I've been used to pushing and now I feel so. find your center, find that thing before we go on to the next exercise, which is a tough exercise. The next one is a brand new one. So I'm going back in here. I just read some of these. Larry, I want to borrow a lawnmower from a neighbor. He said, no, I'm baking a cake. Not that has anything to do, not that's, what's that got to do with it? He said, nothing. If I don't want to lend you my mower, one excuse is as good as another. Larry, you can come and move in next to me, mate. You can borrow my lawnmower anytime. Vicky, whoa. You fell on your butt kicker this morning. You were stooping down and fell backwards. Looking forward to doing workout later. Okay, that's great. I'm going to do some exercises next Tuesday on heel pressure. Please remind me, because heel pressure is incredible. When you begin to go back, if you can't push the pressure on your heel, you're going to go back. I guess you were doing butt kicker this morning. You were stooping down, you fell backwards. We're going to work on heel pressure to push yourself forward. Remind me that next Tuesday. It's always great to hear what struggles or what happens, because we can correct it and give you exercises. Dad, it's amazing for you to be here as well. Thanks so much for being here. Love to you and the family. Bob, did I give you the finger? Bob, if I wanted to give you the finger, mate, and this is male humor in here, I would actually come over and shake your hand instead, because then I'd have 4 fingers and a thumb. I don't need to give one. Debbie, Kathy, thanks for saying hi. That's right. It's Kathy, the organization that Eric started with AXE, A-L-S, A-X-E-A-L-S. And that is all about the axe that firemen did. And it's gone global, all over the world. I saw in the video how many firemen are out there putting their axe through something that's stopping to say, let's break through the restrictions of ALS. It was brilliant. And Eric Stevens, and that's Stevens Nation. Thanks so much for that, Kathy. Bob, here's a serious question. How many exercises can you do on the board? I have over 300 different foot placement and exercises on this board. I've probably got more than that, because little changes all count as one, but it's all about there. But the board is incredible. Yeah, Kathy, Bob, more than Dan can count or I can remember. Absolutely. Kirk, you didn't say anything earlier, because by the time you found this, you were already starting. Well, thanks for saying hi. Thanks for saying hi now, which is great. Liz, the Vaseline really quiet. Oh yes, every now and again you get like a squeaky pole that's going on in the board. I remember giving a tip that sometimes you can use Vaseline and put it on the edge of the board, and it stops the friction between the board and the pole. So I'm glad it worked out for you. And with that, let's get on with the next workout. AXE, A-L-S. A-X-E-A-L-S. Eric's a phenomenal man. Okay, what we're going to do, and this is going to be really, really tough. And again, this is all about feeling, and I guarantee you, pretty much all of us won't be able to do this. But when you have a moment of success, it's because of you, not because of me or anything else. To celebrate your success. Find your balance. Now, what we're going to do is you're going to slide your foot by moving your heel and your toe to the outside, and then move it back in, and at no point should the board touch the ground. So I'm going to move my foot in, then I'm going to move my foot out. Oh. So what we're doing here is by moving, we're having to perfectly adjust the balance pressure on the foot. Hey, I was able to go all the way to 3 and back to 1 without it touching the ground. And all you're doing is just a little shift. So I'm going my toe, my heel to here, and then I'm bringing my toe and my heel. But think about it. If I took too much pressure off, the board's going to hit the side. So as I'm going through here, I'm pushing the pressure on my heel to my toe to my heel, but I'm keeping the same pressure. So I'm having to put more pressure on the specific parts of the foot to keep that balance. There you go. And back again. To keep it balanced, which means I'm very specific on my heel and toe pressure. Now, let's go do this on the left foot. Are you ready? We're going to go out first. So I'm going to push and change that pressure on my left foot. There you go. And bring it back. And then bring it back to the center. And notice, just hold it there for a second. Notice where most of your weight is. Your weight is more on, I've got to bring it in a little bit further, more on the left leg than the right. Now as we push back, we begin to transition, so there's an equal amount of weight on both legs. Now there's going to be more weight on your right leg because, oops, there you go. Because now the leg on the inside has more pressure. It's just a light pressure on the outside. Now we go to here. Now we bring it in. Good, now move it back out. And now what I want you to do, let's go out, come back to number 2. There you go. And Bob, no comments about number 2. I know where your mind goes. Good, just rock it out side to side and feel that pressure. Again, remember, this is beginning training, but it's brain training. Not about the sweat. We'll get the sweat on Thursdays. This is about, again, nice and simple, this training. Now, find that balance again. Now, this time, I want you to go all the way to 3 with your right foot, back to 1 and back to 2 without stopping. Find that balance, feel this pressure. Here we go. Feel those pressure points. Can you go out and back in and all the way across to 1 without the board touching the ground? Oh, I just felt it touch the ground. I was so close. Okay, good. I've got to go a little bit further out. There we go. Now what I want you to do is do it with the left foot. Find that balance again. Like I said, this is not made to succeed. This is made to train you. Here we go. And if you have those moments of success, I'm having to really focus now. All the way back to 1, back in, and then back to 2. I think I felt it touch the ground once there as well. We're gonna go one more time each side. Here we go, challenge that brain. I'm gonna be quiet on this one because I really wanna focus on my pressure points and see how I can do. Here we go, are you ready? I did it. All the way across on my right foot without the board touching the ground. Okay, here comes the second challenge. And sometimes, notice my eyes always stay up. Don't look at the ground, feel it from the brain. I'm not gonna look down there and feel it, but I know when the board touches the ground, I feel it. So again, keep those eyes up, let the brain feel. Here we go. And there you go. I got back to 2 and 2 and the board didn't touch the ground either side. This is a fun little exercise to be able to do. There's one other simple way that we can do this. And we're just gonna do this really quick. I want you to lift your right leg, place it on 1 and find your balance straight away. Now lift your right leg, place it on 2, find your balance straight away. Lift your right leg, find your balance on 3, straight away. There you go, good. Bring the right leg to number 2. Here we go with the left. Lift the left, place it on number 1, find that balance immediately. And lift the left leg, place it on 2, find that balance immediately. And lift the left leg, place it on number 3, find that balance immediately. And lift your left leg, place it on 2, find that balance, hold it there. Give yourself a round of applause. Other way. Trying to keep that balance. And push down with the left leg, step back off with the right. Great job. So that's one of the things that we're just playing with that make it nice and simple. But again, it's much harder. Sliding that foot across the board, going heel toe, means you have to keep the pressure on the heel, on the toe, on the heel. And that may be a good one for you, Vicky, as well, if you had a little bit of feeling of falling back or you fell on your butt today because you leant back too much as you were doing butt kickers. Again, putting that pressure, feeling that pressure heel to control toe and rolling through is great for pressure point training. Okay, next one we're gonna do, a little bit different. We're gonna step sideways. What I want you to do is step to the side of the board, take your right foot, step it up in the center, left foot here. Now, if you're new and you wanna hold on to both handles, please feel free to do that. If you feel more confident, you can put both hands here. Now the tip here is don't move the body, feel the pressure of the feet. Heel, toe, just going through here and feeling the pressure of the heel and the toe as you're pushing. Now let it hit the ground and feel the pressure on the heel. Now let it touch the ground, feel the pressure on the toes. Heel, toe, and look how I'm trying to keep my body still, and yet all the work is being done from my brain telling my body, push on your heels, push on your toes, and when you hit the ground, make sure that you're there balanced. I'm here. They are good. Now, what I want you to do is find the middle. I know we're going to do a little exercise here we haven't done before. Lift your foot up, and we're just going to walk in this position, just nice and easy. And notice how the board begins to rock as you're walking. You can keep it, if you're a little nervous, just do really small walks in here. But I want you to walk and feel how the ground is changing underneath you, and at the same time, feel as it's changing how you're feeling confident and comfortable with the balance change, because the brain is controlling the pressure points. Now what I want you to do is now see if you can keep that board from touching the ground. So as soon as you step, what's happening with that board? Can I correct it quickly as the board's moving? There you go, good. Excellent, great job. Good, now come and find the middle. What I want you to, again, if you're not comfortable, hold on with both poles. If you are, you can go with one leg. Now I want you to lift your left leg up. You'll see it's the blue shoe. The blue is the left leg, the red is the right foot. And just try and find that balance. Now with here, keep the knee slightly bent. Don't push the knee forward, push your butt back. Look at the difference. If I bend my leg and push the knee forward, look at the pressure that goes on the knee. If I bend the knee and I sit back slightly, everything goes into the leg, and we want to keep that strong. There you go. Good, let's come and change legs. So the left leg is in the middle. Find that balance point. And again, keep it nice and strong. Feel those little pressure points of the toe and the heel. This is, I guess, Doug, for car racing, this would be such a good brain training for how much pressure do I put on the gas. You've obviously got your heel on the ground. Where's those pressure points going as you go into different turns, as you look to accelerate? How much do you want to go? That quick takeoff from the beginning. I'm sure you're in pole position and getting out first. Good, there you go, just feeding those pressure points. Good, and come back to the middle. Now go and walk again. Try and keep that board in the middle, not rocking as you're walking. But notice as it does change, and that depends on where you put your foot on the board, as it changes, notice how you're reacting really quickly. By the way, I had a race yesterday on the freeway. I was racing 30 policemen. It was amazing. There were 30 cars, and they all had their lights on behind me. And I thought it was a big celebration. And they were all like, I guess I must have won, because they even put their sirens on. And yeah, it was incredible that they were all celebrating me, and they followed me for miles. And so I just went faster, and they went faster too, and it felt like a great race. And then, yeah, but seriously, good. Come and find that balance on 2 feet. Last thing, seriously, I've got a huge respect for the police force out here. It's like anything, and we see it on the news all the time, that there's always bad apples in everything. In soccer, in football, in sports, we have these legends that we idolize, and then they make a mistake and we seem to forgive them, or we don't label everybody in that sport as bad. So although this is a little political, and I don't mean to be political, this is about people, I have a huge respect for the police force, and the bad ones need to be caught and set out. But again, I love the police force, the good police force, and there's a lot of them out there, a lot more than there are bad. Good, what I want you to do is push your toes down, step off of the board, come to the side. Now, we've got 2 exercises left to go. Very simple. What we're going to do, and let me show you what this one is first. I'm going to move the board back just a little bit so you have more space. You're going to put your right foot on 3, step down on your left foot, step up on 3, step on 3, and then you're going to use your right foot to step and turn off. I'll show you one more time. Your left foot, the foot closest to the back pole will step up. You'll step off in the middle, move your hand, step on 3, bring your foot onto the board, step off and turn. We'll go through it slow, and what we're working on here is the feeling of changing of movement, forward and backward motion. So again, we get better at the strengthening of the feeling strengthening of the forward and backward balance. We work a lot on side to side. This is forward and back. Here we go. Right foot, 3, on the ground, on the other side, down. Now step up with the right foot and around. So we're going from 3 to 3. 3 left, go on the ground. Now we go left, right, step on the ground, left, and down. And again, step, off, step, board, down, and off. So step on the board, step off the board, change your hand, feel this strength position, step on. Now step on, and this is like stepping off of a sidewalk. So think about it. We're stepping up on a sidewalk, we're stepping off the sidewalk, we're stepping up, off the sidewalk. And again, foot closest to the pole. Put your foot by the pole, step up off the board, feel that strong balance, step up, down, and around. And again, by the pole, off the middle, by the pole, bring your feet together, right foot steps down. And again, here we go, up, and off, and up, and up, and off. Now, to make this one tougher, if you feel like I'm so far here, don't use your hand. So it's here, you can step up, step off, and turn. So I press, I step off. And if you feel uncomfortable, I'll show it on the next one. Here we go. Next one, you can use both hands. Here, off, both hands here. Now as you step off, take your hand and turn. And again, step up, step off, step up, step up. Both hands go here. Now I'm going back to no hands. Step, off. Feel how strong you are as it goes. Feel that strength. Step, and feel the strength. Step, feel the strength. Now if you want to increase this even further, now go into a little lunge, up. Lunge down, up, lunge down, step, step around and turn. And lunge, and up, and lunge, and up, and step off, and around. 2 more times across. Let's go a little faster if you feel good. Up, down, up, together, off the board, quick feet, up, down, up, together, step, and around. So again, very simple exercises, but think about all the different pressure points we just engaged and how if you did it successfully, how the brain was constantly adapting, barely even thinking about it. And then if you had a little bit of a problem with it, that's not a big issue at all because the brain is training, and I guarantee if you keep working on this slowly, you'll be able to get that, and that's a sign of improvement. And as I used to say to Bob, you're not slowing down. If you get better, you're reversing the effects of aging or reversing the effects of any sort of balance issues that you have going on. Because if you weren't getting better, you'd be going down. And even staying the same, you're getting better. Holding that same level, you're getting better because the natural tendency is to do this. So think about it. If the natural tendency is to do this, and you're doing this, you're already reversing the effect. Now, if you can do this, now it reminds me of Bob Eubanks when he's eating food at the table. There you go. Sorry, Bob, I had to get that one in. Just putting, we got the last exercise coming up. That's funny. Larry says, remember, Bob, if you were in the race of life and you were number 2, the scenery never changes. That's a bit of a butt joke in there. I hope I'm in first place. I want to be number 1 so I can be the butt of the joke. Hey, Dan, is walk the same as walk? Whatever, Bob. I promise you I'll teach you an English accent. Denise, you lost for about 5 minutes. I think it might have been your system, not your son. Said it was Facebook. You're back now. Great to see you back, Denise. Go back and watch the last exercise we did. They're really, again, training. Denise, Bob, stop picking on our Dan. I love you, Denise. That's great. We're going to start the Support Dan Against Bob fan club. Bob's fantastic. I love his sense of humor. Ildi, you have a weird question. Any exercise that can make you feel confident in higher heeled shoes. You usually wear flats on a dressy occasion. I'd like to wear higher heels and not feel wobbly. You know what? I can't answer that one, but I know Bob Eubanks can answer that one because he has a lot of practice in that. Oh, sorry, Bob. I wasn't meant to say anything. Ildi, I'm going to I'm going to talk to you afterwards. Let's finish this last exercise and I will address this when it's done, because absolutely we do have exercises that will help with that. All right, last exercise, and this one's a lot tougher. So if you're slightly more advanced, you're going to have a good time with this one. This is really going to engage the quad muscles and force those muscles to work. So come and find your balance. Now what I want you to do is go into a squat. Remember, push your butt back as if you're pushing that person in second place behind you further back, and then bend those knees. Now hold that balance. I want you to hold that balance and feel how those muscles are beginning to engage. Make sure you can feel the pressure. Bob, I know you said something back. Feel the pressure on those toes and those heels. Now, without coming up, push the foot on the right leg, step off of the board. Notice how I'm in the same position. Feel the strength in the right. Now bring the leg back up and find that balance straight away. And notice how those muscles are really working. Now come and stand back up, and all I want to do is give some butt kickers safely in there, Vicky. Just some butt kickers. There you go. Good. Now come on, put your left foot. We're going on to number 2 again. Push the butt back, push that person behind you, go into that squat, hold that position. It's like you're halfway up from standing from a chair. Now stay the same height, push the left foot to the ground, take the right leg back. You got that weight now on your left leg, feel that strength. Now bring your right foot back up, don't stand up, push and find that balance point. There you go, good. Hold it, and stand back up. Give me some butt kickers again. Talking to butt kickers, Vicky, I hope you're doing okay. I'm guessing you are, because you said you're going to work out later, and that it's really important, obviously, that you're here, because if you weren't doing okay, you wouldn't be here. So I'm glad that you're safe. And again, we continue to work always. And accidents can happen at any time. Here we go again. You ready? Find that balance. Push your butt back. Squat down. There you go. See if you can go just even a little deeper and hold that position. But always safety first. The deeper you go, the more you're going to lean to level with those poles. Now, push the right leg down. Stay that height. Touch the ground. Hold it there. Hold it. Hold it. Feel that leg now. Bring the leg back up. Push to the center. Find that balance. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Stand back up. Give me some butt kickers. We got 3 more times through, 3 times with the legs, because we're going to finish up the left leg here. Then we're going to do the right and left, and that will be the end of the workout today. And then we do the cool down. Here we go. Find your balance. This is a tough little workout. Push the butt back, go into that little squat. Hold that position, hold that position. Can you go a little deeper? But again, keeping that, the deeper you go, bring that body slightly more forward, so my chest is just behind my arms. Good. Now stay the height, push the left leg down, touch the ground. Keep the weight on the left leg. Feel strong. Come on, feel strong. There you go. Now bring the leg back up, come to the middle, hold that balance. Hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and push back up. Let's go butt kickers. I always like to do the first action on the leg that was the one that stayed on the board, because that one's going to be the tightest. I want to relieve that pressure straight away. So if my left leg stayed on the board, I would kick that one first, just to relieve that extra first instinct of the muscle relaxing. Okay, here we go. Last time through. I'm going to go a little quicker on this one now. Push the butt back, go into the squat. Hold it there, hold it there, hold it there. Stay the same height. Push the left leg, push the right leg down. Left leg goes back. Were you able to react quickly there? If you did, fantastic. Good, stay the same height. Bring the left leg back on. Find that balance, hold it there. 5, 4, 3, 2. My right leg was the one working most, so kick the right leg, left leg, right leg, left leg, right leg, left leg. One more. Good, now here we go, last time. We're gonna find the balance, butt goes back, go down, push that butt down. You're sitting down, sitting down, sitting down. Brilliant, hold it there. Now push the left leg, stay the same height, right leg goes back, hold it there. 5, 4, 3. I'm not putting my weight back, I'm keeping it on the leg. Bring the leg back up, stay in the same position, come to the middle, find that balance. 5, 4, 3, and butt kick with the left leg. Are you ready? And go. left leg. And that is the end of today's workout. Again, very simple, but I want you to see that and feel it as brain training. Think of the concentration. You didn't just go through movements and motions and not have to think. You were constantly challenging that brain to feel the pressure points in the feet, in the body. Good. I'm just going to shake my leg to the side. Again, just nice and easy, relaxing the leg. And stay with me through the cool down, because that was a lot of dynamic muscle tension work. And think about the pressure in your toes. Why don't we do a step back off of the board? First thing we're going to do is I just want you to massage your toes and relax them off inside your shoes. So just move those toes nice and easy up and down, and maybe go in circles, little toe to big toe, little toe to big toe. Just feel them massaging. Good. Now shake the legs out again. Good. Now just bring the right heel up and push the toes and push the toes. So again, we're just loosening those feet up where the toe and the foot joins. Excellent. There you go. Brilliant. Good. Now what I want you to do is just roll the ankle out. We're working all the way up the body. Just loosen it up. I have to be a little careful with this one because, again, I don't want to overstretch the ankle. I'm going to slow that one down a little bit. Let's go to the left leg. Now I can get dynamic. Perfect. And shake those legs out. Now push the board to the right, put the ball of the foot on the edge of the board and just push it forward. Bob Eubanks, isn't it crazy thinking this is where this whole thing started? The whole 60 Up program started in the door right there a few years ago now, and change legs. And look at where we are. We've got the most amazing community, the most amazing people that join in. It's so good to have you here, Bob, because again, without you, I would never have created this, because it was created for you to help you with your balance problems. Change sides. And the success you had, and the success I had training other people, Priscilla, my mum back in England, working with so many people, and people were like, Dan, you have to release this. It's incredible the results people are having. And it all started right here, and it's great to see you, Bob. We're talking 3 years later in better health and better mobility than you, by far, than you were 3 years ago. Talk about reversing the aging process. It's very special when I think back on it. Good. What I want you to do is now take your push the board to the right, take your heel, place it on the board, and just get that stretch. Legs should be straight. If you want to, put your toe against the pole. It will give you a slightly stronger stretch. Let's change sides. Put your heel on the board. Put your foot against the pole if you want, and feel those poles supporting you, so you can go a little bit further down if you're able to, and then you can use the poles to come back up. But if you're coming back up, come back up slowly. Don't go fast, especially if you have vertigo. Everything is small. Let's go back to the right side again. Just in here. Feel that stretch. The day's just getting more and more beautiful as I'm seeing. I can feel a cool breeze now. Let's change sides. Going into here. There you go. Perfect. So I've already decided. Good. Come back and give me some butt kickers now to loosen up those quad muscles. I've already decided where I'm going to be doing the class on Thursday morning. It's going to be another location. Each week, I'm going to try and find a different location for my Thursday classes. And I'm excited for this week. So I want you to try and guess where you think I'm going this week. I'm out here in Southern California, and you can guess right on here where you think it's going to be, just shaking the legs out. And you won't find out if you're right or not until you show up on Thursday. Good. All I want you to do now is just lift your legs up nice and easy. Don't look at this as exercise. Think about stretching down the back of the leg into here. Good. Now come back and give me some butt kickers again. There you go. Good. And rest on the ground. Now the last thing we're going to do is shake these arms out. There's a lot of holding onto the poles today. I'm going to step in front here and take those fingers, just push them away. I always get that crack when we're going on here. There you go. And just pushing and bringing it to you and feeling that stretch. Again, this is the type of thing with spasticity. As the muscles begin to tighten up as we get older and we're not as flexible down here, not as flexible, we want to stretch the muscles out, because naturally we have the hand, especially, Bob, if you're a ballet dancer, we work in the shape of the arm around here so it has that flow into here. So the muscles in the front of the forearm, you'll notice, will begin to tighten as we get older. So it's harder to do this. That's why we're doing this exercise, just to stretch against the natural tightness that the muscles will go. There you go. Good. Now shake those hands out. What you do is just run your fingers, then shake your hands backwards. It's either saying I'm hot or tell him, Bob, go away. I'd never tell Bob to go away. There you go. Shake the hands out. Good. Now from here, just roll the shoulders. We're just loosening up. There you go. Good. And just shake those shoulders up and down. Last one, just drop the head slightly, stretch down the side of the neck. And come up to the other side. Feel that stretch down the side of the neck. Beautiful. There you go. And stretch down the other side. And stretch the other side. I'm seeing some of these comments coming in. Here we go. Okay, so I know where Thursday. Let me just go back a little bit. Okay, this is the first one I'm going to address, and I'm going to address this quickly, but I'll put some exercises in here, Ildi. So, one of the things to address when you're going to be wearing heels and you want to have that balance is do a lot of the exercises on your toes. I'm going to see if I can do it with my ankle, but as you're in here, go up on your toes and feel, instead of letting your heels touch the ground, let your feet, just the balls of your feet touch the ground. Because a lot of times, that's obviously where your strength is. Now, what I would do is, as you're up here, I would just push back. Don't let the heels touch the ground. If I do it sideways, you'll see I'm here. I'll just bend my heels a little bit so we begin to get used to putting some weight onto the heels of the foot. But if you're in here, just walking into here, or finding your balance and then step off and find your balance, you're constantly finding the pressure point in the ball of the foot, which will help. Now, also in here to work the heels, and most of us won't be working on that. I do it with my left foot because of my right ankle. Here, find that pressure and then rock the board side to side, and notice your heel is off the ground, so you're really working the calf muscle. But feeling here as you're doing this, how the pressure's going from my big toe to my little toe, and then try and find that balance and hold it, and then change feet. Don't do it for too long, because it's really going to engage the calf muscle, and then make sure you stretch the calf afterwards. But exercises, just start off on that. And then the other thing I would say, and I mean this seriously, is put your heels on and get on the board. And I would say start with the lower heels. You don't want to go up to 10 inches straight away. What? No, but start off with just maybe some flats that have what they call a wedge. So it comes up a little bit so you feel it, and eventually work up to the shoes that you want to, and just do 5 minutes. Now you can say, well, I could slip on the, on the surface. Get like a mat that won't slip and put it on top of the board. So you could have something that has some rubber on it. Some of the things that I've used, the stuff that you put in the drawers to stop things sliding, put that on top, or just where each shoe is going to be, so that you feel safe and solid. But again, work up from the lower heel to the heel you want to go to. But even the exercises, like I said, without heels on to begin, just going up on the ball of the foot and feeling, that's something I just made up now, thinking about where's the pressure points. But I know it will work. So I hope that helps in there, Ildi. Bob, you're not the ballet dancer that I am. I'm proud of being a ballet dancer, Bob, and I'd be proud if you were too, mate. It's never too late to start. Bob, you love the Tuesday workouts. I love the Tuesday workouts. I actually love them more than the Thursday workouts, because I'm so much about the brain, and this is the beginning of recovering your balance. The Thursday workouts is celebrating the advancement. The Tuesday workouts is really how do we continue to improve. Just exercising doesn't make you stronger, but making the basics stronger give you the exercise to get better. Thanks. Ildi, you think I'm going to be doing the class at the beach? Larry, I'm going to be at the San Andreas Fall. We'll have to see. I hope there's more suggestions. I'm very clever progression of the exercises today. Thanks a lot. Well thought out with brain being exercised too in a gentle but positive way. Just so that you know, my mum is a doctor back in England, and specializes in understand the brain. She teaches me a lot as well. And the funny thing is, I didn't even know she was a brain specialist with understand the brain and looking at the neuroplasticity and the new pathways and what we're learning about the brain. So she sends me tips from all the expertise that she has. And again, when I say she's specialized, she's not a brain doctor, but certainly she studies the brain with all the doctor stuff that she does. So thanks for all the help as well, Mum. I'm glad you approved of the progression. Larry, it's going to be on the San Andreas fault. That would be a very rocky session if that happened. Denise, you just want to say you've seen 2 different 60-up ads on your phone, and they're very good. So glad to see so many more people are seeing it. Thanks so much in there, Denise. I have a new one coming out. Also, go check our website. We got some exciting stuff coming up. I just helped create, and my brother actually helped create as well with our designer, a new website, a new style. And we're going to be putting a referral program by June. Maybe even in a couple of weeks, we'll have a referral program where if you refer a friend, you can get some money, and your friend gets a little bit of a discount as well, because your success to share, we want to help as many people as well. Again, this is not about us coming in and taking, it's how can we help more and more people. So and I'll let you know, but we're working on a referral program, because honestly, you guys are all our best sales force. When you can turn around and say it affected your life, people are going to believe you more than they'll ever believe me. They think I want to sell this board, so they'll think I'm just saying stuff. And I never just say so. I'm actually the worst salesman ever. The best way that I can help more people is to help you, and you help more people as well. So thanks so much. Ildi, you're most welcome. I'm glad that you have rubber wedges so you can try on the board. Absolutely, start slow. Just one thing that I'll tell you is make sure after you've worked on the heels and having slight raise, stretch those calves out, because what's going to happen is the calves are really going to tighten up. And again, because they're contracting, you want to make sure afterwards that you stretch. So take an extra little bit of time to stretch out the Achilles and stretch out the calf. Kirk, thanks so much. Listen, Kirk, I know that you like the more intense workouts because you've improved so much. So for you to say it's a great workout, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate that you turned around and said that, Kirk, because I know, you can challenge yourself and take this to a higher level. So the fact that you feel this is a huge compliment in what I'm able to bring to you. So thanks so much. Bob, are you saying that I froze? It's a beautiful day out here. So if I froze, can anybody else send a message? Am I still frozen? Or Bob, were you just hoping that I froze? So if that happened, at least we made it to the end of class. And I don't see any more messages coming back in. So am I still frozen? I don't know. Well, hopefully you can go back and watch the end of this. Because again, it'd be really important, Ildi, to hear about the stretching of the feet. Liz, thank you so much. I'm glad it was great. And again, it's my honor to be here, to be able to work with you. And thanks so much, Liz, as well, for letting me know the tips are going and I'm not frozen. It's a beautiful day in Southern California. I think probably Bob was saying that and I hadn't, and he wants me to get animated and do this type of, I'm not frozen. But really appreciate Liz coming back, and don't leave it so long next time. If there's anything we can do to help, please let us know. And this is the one thing I want you to understand. Kirk, there's no problem with you, mate. I know that. Thanks for letting me know. Ask questions. If you have an issue with something or you want help with something like Ildi did today with heels, please ask. And you may think it's insignificant, but your questions are also a question for somebody else that may not have the courage to ask, or may not want to ask, or doesn't have that they're a little shy, or don't want to admit they have that problem. I know Bob, being honest here, as we know, always honest. Bob denied for a while that he was having balance issues. I remember the conversation we had, Bob, where, you didn't want to admit, no, I'm okay. And you were trying to hide it from people. And in the end, when you said, okay, I need to work on my balance, people said, yeah, we've seen it. They revealed afterwards that they knew that there was a problem going on. And then everyone celebrates in the success because everyone knew you had the problem. Admitting there's a problem is never the weakness. Failing to do something about the problem is the weakness because you don't want to admit it. Admitting is the first step to success. So thanks so much. What's going on? Larry, thanks so much as well. I appreciate it. What a nice compliment to have, no matter what Bob says. Um, no matter what. That's my relationship with Bob. We have a love relationship with a little bit of joking in between. So thanks so much. But yeah, Bob does like to attack me. Anyway, Bob, I froze after you said understand. Bob, maybe you froze because nobody else said that I froze. And so maybe, Bob, when I said understand, you went, what does that mean? Do I understand? And maybe you just froze for a second. And it wasn't me, Bob. But anyway, have a beautiful rest of the Tuesday. Thanks so much for hanging in here with me. And I really appreciate the opportunity to work with you. So, our newsletter just came out, our new newsletter. I actually went back and read it, and I noticed a typo in there. So I hope, a couple of typos actually. And so nobody on our side caught it, and you probably will catch it. And so I hope it inspires you to keep going to get better. And it's great communicating with you again. Have a beautiful rest of the day. Love to you all. Love to your families. Celebrate. And look, it looks like my hair is growing out the top, Bob. You haven't said anything yet. Love to you all. Have a fantastic Tuesday. Don't forget, Kathy tomorrow. I'm back on Thursday at a secret location that, feel free to say where you think it's going to be. And then Debbie's back on Friday. And please remember, AXE ALS. That's hashtag AXE ALS. And Kathy's going to be posting the video. I asked her to post the video up on our page. Please take a look, because Eric's a very special young man, and we know there is no cure for ALS. And he's got this fight going on right now to get studies that have proven to work, that's getting held up right now for political reasons, and not becoming political, just saying we've got to help Eric to get the new treatment that gave him success officially allowed to be released. So anyway, love to you all. Thanks so much, and stay strong. Always, AXE ALS. Love you, Mum. Thanks, Bob. Thursday. Bye-bye.